Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Thursday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's turn our attention to athletics in particular and speak to one of the athletes there at Melbourne University Athletics Club. Of course, she's not just an athlete, she's also a community member as well. Of course, her name is Elizabeth. She joins us now. Thanks, Elizabeth, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really excited.
No worries. Well, it's been an interesting year for you so far. Tell us how it's been so fit's
It's been a very interesting year, and this second lockdown definitely got me a bit frustrated. Yeah, it's been hectic, but we'll get through it.
Now, at the moment, what's been happening in Melbourne, obviously, there's not much events or competition or any sports for that matter. Obviously, for athletics, I guess it's a pretty unique sport other than cycling where you can actually still go and exercise and still keep that fitness going. What have you been doing in isolation and the lockdown to sort of keep yourself in fitness shape?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of eating, but also I have been training with one other person who also lives in North Melbourne. So that's where I live. At the start, I kind of trained by myself, but it was a bit hard for, accountability. Like I would get tired, within like 2 reps in and I'm like, yeah, that's it. But now I have a training partner and he does keep me accountable. So yeah, that's, you just got to do what you got to do. It's been good though to just work on like technique and stride pattern without any sort of pressure to compete.
No competition at the moment. Did you do any competitions in the summer just gone?
Yeah, so we were competing. And do you know much about Storwell Gift?
I do.
Yeah, so that was going to be my last comp for the year, but obviously that got cancelled. This season was going so well, like so good, and then this happened, but what can you do?
And how did you go and cover the events that you did compete in?
Yeah, so I was really happy with some of my times, especially early on, so just before Christmas, I think. And then I had a bit of a kind of down phase and I was slowly coming back up again. And I had a little minor injury in between Christmas and state championships. So yeah.
Now, at the moment, Melbourne's getting very close to going to stage 4 at the moment. Now, you had to live through that just recently through what's been happening. Obviously, you mentioned that you live in North Melbourne. And obviously with the stage 4 lockdowns. I guess my question to you is, how tough was that for you to survive a whole week of not being outside and sort of train at the same time? What did you try to do to still do training but indoor around your place?
Yeah, it was hard and definitely frustrating. I think, yeah, you feel a bit isolated. It's funny because stage 3, you can still move around, but but stage 4, when you're all by yourself in the room, yeah, it's really, really frustrating. But I downloaded Nike app. That's a training app, and they've got a lot of amazing workouts. So I was doing a lot of the apps sessions just for 5 minutes. I'm like, may as well get my core going while I'm in a serious lockdown. So it's all right. It's okay. I think it's all, perspective, how you see something, hey?
Now, I'm assuming you've had a chance to sort of reflect on what you've achieved during this isolation lockdown that we're having here in Melbourne. Have you had a chance to sort of now set some new goals that you didn't think you were going to achieve now going into the future once we get out of COVID?
Yes, but not really. I used to set, specific goals when I was a bit younger, but, and then I had a lot of injuries growing up. So I never really got to achieve a lot of my goals. And when you don't achieve something, it's a bit harsh, it's too much. So I don't really set specific goals as much, but I kind of do this sport now because I love the sport, and I can't wait to get back with my friends. And whatever happens, like if I happen to qualify for, Olympics, international level, that would be great. But yeah, I love the sport. I love my friends, and I just do it for that.
Now, for you, do you have like the ultimate goal that you want to reach in the sport of athletics? Now you've had a chance to think about it.
I would love to go to the Olympics. Would love to go to the Olympics. But, one step at a time, and it's not impossible. So you never know.
Do you have any competitions or events that you want to get to at the moment once we get out of COVID? Is there any summer events that you want to get involved in obviously competing?
Yeah, so I want to go to nationals when things reopen, and also when Store Wild Gift get going again. That would be next year. I would love to go there again. It's a really good place, great vibes, and obviously nationals. If anything happen, hopefully Olympics. You don't know.
Now you mentioned about the famous Store GIF or the Store World GIF.
Yeah.
How many times you've been there? And I guess how special was it for you to go into the country, into regional Victoria and compete in the famous Easter Classic?
So I went there twice, maybe 3 times. And you're not going to believe this, but each time I was going with an injury. So, so unfortunate. The last time I went, which was 2 years ago, I just missed out of the 400 final by like that much. So annoying. But you honestly have to be there to experience just how special it is. Really good vibes. You have local community coming through, so really good support for the local community. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's breathtaking.
Now let's talk a bit about how you got involved in athletics and why did you choose it?
Yeah, so when I was at school, I think year 10, I went and played volleyball, and then I got the best player in the final, the medal. And the umpire on the day said, "Oh, come to Melbourne Uni and play for Melbourne Uni volleyball club." And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I went, and because I was young, a lot of them were older than me, and I just didn't enjoy it at all. So I saw the athletics track, and I went and spoke to the coach. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, he's a bit scary. So I left, and then a year later, I came back, and I'm like, right, I'm ready, and then I started training. Yeah.
Now, I have to ask, you're a sprinter and a jumper. Now, obviously, volleyball comes in handy when it comes to those two things in the sport of athletics. I guess, what sort of things, was it easy to transition from volleyball to athletics in regards to the jumping part?
Yeah, so at the start, I wanted to be like a long and triple jumper. That was it, because I guess you have that leg power. But then my coach goes, "Elizabeth, you're just not a natural jumper." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's not very nice." And he goes, "But 400 on the other hand, might be good for you." And I'm like, that's the worst event you could possibly pick. And I stayed with 400, and now I'm coming back down a bit, but we have to argue with that.
Now you mentioned about obviously your favourite event by sounds of it is the 400 metres. Do you also do like shorter distance than the 400?
Yeah, so I do 1, 2, and the 400. I like to think I'm a better 200-meter runner because it doesn't hurt as much as the 400. But coach knows better.
Now you mentioned your coach quite a few times already during this interview. Tell us a bit about your coach.
My coach, if you listen closely when he's yelling, you could you will legit hear him from Darwin or like interstate. The guy is very loud, but he's a really nice guy. He's someone we all look up to. Very genuine, and he put his athlete before anybody else.
I love your start of that analogy to that answer. Now, what would be some highlights throughout your athletics journey other than going to the store give?
So I think when I was 19, I went to Castlemaine, and it's part of the professional racing, so the Victorian Athletics League. And that was my first, maybe my third race. So I took out the 120 under 20, 120 women, and the 400. And that was, it came second in the 400. But that was a really special day for me. And I think that's what got me through all my injuries, because I look back at that day and those videos and I get goosebumps, and I just want to keep training and competing.
Now, do you have a favourite athlete that you look up to?
Yeah, that would be Allison Felix.
Ah,
I don't know if you know her.
I do.
Yeah, she's the real queen of track and field. So she's like 1, 2, and 400-meter runner. She's just so elegant. So yeah, I want to run like her. And at some point, I tried to run like her, but I can't run like her because I'm not her. But yeah, I tried.
Now, of course, you mentioned about Allison Felix, which is obviously who's from the USA. How special will it be to meet her?
Yeah, that would be a dream come true. It'd be better to even race against her. I mean, she would finish the race like while I'm starting, but that's okay. Just racing against her would be so good, and meeting her.
Yeah. And what would be the first question you would ask her if you did?
Yeah, how are you so smooth? Like, how do you make running look so easy? That would be my question to her.
Well, we'll see. We'll put that answer. We'll put that question out to her for you later in the week. What she responds back.
Yes.
And we'll see the answer. What she says.
Perfect. Yeah. Good.
Now, of course, what does the sport of athletics mean to you, and especially being there at Melbourne Uni?
Being a Melbourne Uni, Melbourne Uni is honestly a second home to so many people, like so many athletes from all walks of life. So yeah, being part of such a multicultural club is so special, because you get to talk to so many different people. We have a lot of international students, and you also have a lot of young adults who just moved out of home. So it's just, it's such a beautiful place. And the social events that we do makes, it's so special because of the people.
Now, of course, other than being an athlete, you are a committee member there at Melbourne Uni Athletics Club. What convinced you to go on the committee?
I wanted to be part of the committee because I want to help grow the club in whatever way I can. And that's the main thing. And I also like organizing events. So whenever, we have things to organize, or when coronavirus finally goes, I can't wait to just come up with all these awesome ideas with the team, and then just, make the club such a warm home for all of us.
I'm assuming that means social events.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, also, we're not going to ask you what social events you have in mind. So I'm going to go to the next question, which is, what will be your advice to our listeners out there that should get involved in athletics once we get out of this COVID situation here in Melbourne?
Come and try it. Honestly, just come. If you can walk, you can run. And also one can throw. So throwing, jumping, running. And we also have the walking event. So come on down, give it a go. And also Melbourne Uni Arts Club have the world's greatest facility. That's a fact. So come.
And how can I go about contacting anyone at Melbourne Uni?
Yeah, if you go to www.muac.com.au, you see who are the list of people. You can also reach us on Instagram or Facebook, and someone will definitely answer your questions.
Let's finish off with a couple of light-hearted questions now. Tell us any embarrassing moments on the track.
Last year relay championships, one of our team forgot to take the baton. So you need a baton to pass around. You absolutely need a baton, and they had such a beautiful start. When you see this particular athlete run, breathtaking. Beautiful bend, put us in a really good position, only to realize they didn't have a baton, and that was the end of that race. So it's a bit of funny.
Have you done any embarrassing moments on the track yourself?
I will say no. No, other than when I fell, running a 200, I fell, and that was that was the end of my race.
Who's the comedian at the club?
That would be this girl named Ash. She is so honest. So if you have food in your eye or somewhere, she would definitely just be like, what have you eaten? Like, I don't know. She's just very honest and so raw, and she's very funny.
Any best singers or dancers we should know about at the club?
Oh, that one, again, Ash thinks she can dance. And also then the coach come along and go, back in the day, we were the real dancers. So that would have to be between the coach and Ash. So we'll see.
Well, I think we might have just prompted a social event for you to bring to the community next time. Who has the best personality in the team? And you can include yourself.
Best personality. I feel like everyone just have different personality, and they're all good. Like, they're good in their own way. So I think that's a team thing, the personality one.
Now, do you have a hidden talent that you didn't think you had, and especially considering how much time we all have on our hands being at home?
I don't think I do. I don't know. What would my hidden talent be? Sleeping. I can sleep for a long time. I don't know.
Have you tried anything new during isolation?
I thought about that one too. Well, I'm still working full time. So even though, other than that week, even though we're in lockdown, I'm actually still working as usual. So I haven't really had the time to do anything too crazy. I don't know.
Of course, we'll finish off with this one last one. Now, I'm assuming, you've done some virtual training or something like that online through Zoom or something like that.
Yeah.
If so, how difficult has that been? And what was the craziest challenge that your coach had to put you through?
Oh, yeah. So the good thing is, my coach is not big on social media. I don't even we bought him a phone for his birthday, but he doesn't really have Zoom or any of that. But as a group, we tried doing some ab exercises, and then some people just lie really low in their camera, so you can't really see them. So they're struggling lower. But it's good. It's good.
You know what? I can actually relate to that. So, because I do it myself.
Literally, oh, where are you? Oh, my camera's a bit too high and I'm a bit too low. Nah.
Yes, I can definitely relate to that. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. We wish we could actually come and meet you in person and actually do the interview in person. Maybe when we get our lockdown, we can do the interview in person and get to meet you. And best of luck, and please send our best wishes to everyone at the club, and hopefully everyone can get back on the athletics track just in time for the summer season.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
No worries. And that's Elizabeth there from the Melbourne University Athletics Club, of course. Make sure you get involved, of course, as she mentioned, head into their website, muac.com.au, and follow all the details on how you can get involved at the club once we all get out of COVID.